Hi, this is Andrea Coleman, and I'm going to demonstrate the tool called Popplet. It is used to make graphic organizers. You can use it on the web, and then there's also an app for the iPad. So the first thing you're going to do is to go to the website, and you're going to sign up and create an account. Then what it'll give you some example Popplets, so you can search through these. And it'll show you different graphic organizers that other people have created using the app. So to get started, what you're going to do is click on Make New Popplets. You're going to name it. So let's say that you want to do one on photosynthesis. You're going to type in your title, and then you're going to click on a color. So let's make it blue. Then you're going to click on Make It So. Once you do that, it's going to load this main screen, and this is called your Popplet board. The first thing you're going to want to do is to create a popple. So the little boxes of your graphic organizers are called popples, and you can do that two ways. The first way is by clicking on the Settings tab, and you can click on New Popple. Another thing you can do is also just double click on the board, and it'll create a new one for you. So let's get rid of this one. Okay, so I'm going to show you the basics using this main popple, and then we'll create some extensions to your main topic. So you're going to want to have your title. So ours is going to be photosynthesis. And then from here, you can do different things as far as color, pictures, text, things like that. So in order to make it bigger or smaller, since this is our main topic, you probably want to make it a little bit bigger so it stands out to your students. You could click on any of these triangles on the side, and that'll make it bigger, or you can adjust the shape, you can make it more rectangular, things like that. Okay, if you click on this color right here, this is to change the color. So we'll make it green since this has to do with plants and photosynthesis. Next, the A. This adjusts your text size, so it's anywhere from small, medium, or large. So we can make this extra big since it is our main focus of the graphic organizer. You can also have your alignment left, middle, or right. The next thing you can do is you can have your students draw. So if you click on the pen, and then you're going to choose a color, and then go in here and you can draw anything inside of your Popplet that you want. You can have your students draw in there, you can have them draw a picture, anything that you want them to put in there to add in. Then you can expand it, and that'll just make the Popplet bigger so that they can draw more in it. And then if you don't like what you drew in there, you can click on Clear Drawing, and it gets rid of it. The next thing that's cool is that you can upload things into the Popple. So if you click on that, it gives you the option of adding Vimeo, YouTube, or you can add in an image from your computer. So let's click on YouTube. What I like is that at the top it gives you the search option. So I typed in Khan Academy photosynthesis. The Khan Academy has a lot of free videos that are pretty student friendly. They're colorful, they can kind of grab students' attention, so I'm going to choose one of those to insert into mine. So you'll click on the video that you would like. You can double click it and it'll insert it into your Popple. Okay, the next thing is that you're going to want to have characteristics of photosynthesis added on to your main topic. So you can do that by clicking on these circles. They're at each corner of your square. So if you click on one of those, it adds a Popple out to the right. Then if you want to move it, say you don't want to leave it right here, all you have to do is click on the Popple and then drag your mouse and then relocate the Popple to wherever you want it to be. So inside of here, we will put equation. So students need to know the equation for photosynthesis. And then you can create another Popple and have them identify the reactants. and products. You can then go in, so just like we changed the color for this popple and made it green, you might want to go in and maybe make these a different color so that they stand out to the kids, so they know that this is an important subtopic of photosynthesis. Plus it kind of makes it look a little bit more interesting. So this one, we can make it red. Okay. The next thing is that, let's say you go in and you've created all these popples. So you kind of have them all over the place. And see this one, it won't even let me add another one at the top because you won't be able to see it. So in order to do that, so that you can move your graphic organizer around on the page, what you're going to do is just like when you moved the actual popple, you're going to click on the Popplet board and then drag your mouse, and that'll move your entire graphic organizer. So you can move this down a little bit and do some of your work up here. So here you could add yours, and then it'll go ahead and add another one to it. Another cool thing you can do with this, so if you see when I click on this, you see this little text box, kind of like a call out pop up. If you click on that, this is an easy way to add popples to this main category. So here, instead of just going in and individually adding each one and clicking on this, you can just add a comment. And we could have gone ahead and just added equation there, add comments. You could add, why is photosynthesis important? Then click on add comment, and it'll automatically just add these around your popple. When you're done, all you have to do is click on back to main, and it takes you back to what you're originally working on. Okay, let's say that you've zoomed in and now you want to go ahead and check out your entire page, all of your work that you've done. All you have to do is click on View All, and it readjusts the size so that you can see all of your popples on one screen. You can also change the color. Say you decided, oh, I don't want to do blue anymore, let's do gray. So you can change the color of the Popplet board here. Under Settings, you can make a new popple, like I said earlier. It allows you to save it. You can edit it, organize it. So if you want to organize it into rows, if you want to align vertically, horizontally, if you have a lot more popples to add, so this is really helpful. You can add content. Under Settings, YouTube, Vimeo, view in presentation mode so you can see what it looks like to your students. Export, this is really good. So let's say you want to export it as a PDF. So you click on that, it's going to have you save it, and then you just choose where you want to save it to. From here, you could email it to your kids, you could print it out. So there's lots of options, and it's really helpful that you're able to save it. Also, you can go, and if you get stuck or you don't know what to do, there's a help link at the top, and it'll go through kind of a little tutorial, just like I did, of what to do and what button does what. Okay. Lastly, there's lots of great uses for graphic organizers. We've gone over it a lot in class as we've created one for our chapters. So what I really like about this app is that it's really easy to use and navigate. So it's really a good tool for students to use in class. It won't take you a long time to teach kids how to use it. And then once they do, it has so many options as far as what you can use it for in your lessons. So for example, I made a Popplet on the handout that I included with the video. So you can use it from anything from having your kids take notes, organizing their ideas for maybe writing a paper, vocabulary. What I'd like to do for vocabulary is to make, put the words into the graphic organizers, and then I have the kids go and find pictures to add to the vocabulary word, and then I have them write a description out. So I don't give them all the information, I give them partial information, and then lots of blanks for them to fill it in. You can also illustrate cause and effect, sequencing, brainstorming, compare and contrast, highlighting problems and solutions. So you can really get into some good critical thinking activities with the graphic organizer as well. And as you can see, it's real simple to set up. It's easy for the kids to set up. There is also, like I said earlier, you could email it to your kids. You don't have to print it out for them. You could also have your kids go in and create their own accounts and share it with them, and then they can access it and they can work on it outside of class. I also included in the handouts things that I personally like to do when I make graphic organizers for the kids. So sometimes it's not ideal to have them do it in class themselves. So what I'll do is just provide partial information. So I teach high school. It's not usually a good idea to just give them a handout with all the information because they're not going to look at it. So I include things like keywords, incomplete pictures, questions. So they actually have to go in and do something and fill in pertinent information. So what it does is it helps them to make connections and actually actively think about what they're doing. So on the graphic organizer, I included another example. So here I have some questions. I included a picture, and then I left the blanks kind of like I did earlier when I was showing you how to use the Popplet. So here they'll fill in the equation. They need to identify the reactants, the products. I also included other resources. So there's a couple other graphic organizers that I'm more familiar with that I really like, and one of them is Inspiration Maps in Mindomo. Mindomo is really similar to Popplet Lite, but it has a few more options as far as decorating your Popplets. There's a lot more colors, there's a lot more contrast, it's a little bit brighter and more fun to look at. You can add in emoticons, hyperlinks, and then of course images, just like Popplet Lite. I also like Inspiration Maps, and that one's really good because you can go in and they have additional resources like subject-specific templates. So you can go in and find, say, history or science or English, and they'll have kind of like a template already made for you that you can go in and fill in with whatever information you want to include in your graphic organizer. It's a little bit more complicated than Popplet Lite, so that's why I like to personally use it. I've never had my students use it because it would take up quite a bit of class time for them to learn it. So I hope you learned a lot, and I hope you like my tutorial and that you will try it out and incorporate more graphic organizers into your class. Thanks.